Crazy. Yo, I got my man Elliott Wilson on the check-in. Elliott!
Yo, Ak, I sent you DJ Head's number.
Okay, nah, thank you and much appreciated. Hey, while I have you on here, can I just get your real quick thoughts? By the way, you know we're on stream. Can I get your real quick thoughts on everything going on, man?
Well, as DJ Head was saying, we did a little test pilot today, trying to do the daily hip hop debate vibe.
Okay.
With me, Jeremy Heck from Hip Hop DX, and DJ Head, obviously. So, he came with his West Coast hoodie. I wore my Scorpion jacket, and we went at it, man.
Wait, you were Team Aubrey.
I've always Team Aubrey, man. Even though, the boy might not love me anymore, but, he's number one in my book. But I got to say, man, I'll give you the real. This is obviously was taped this morning, so I didn't hear the song that just came out. I actually am very disappointed in this song. I think that...
Really?
Yeah, I just think that, the problem I've had with Drake with this whole thing is that he refuses to view Kendrick as a worthy opponent. He still keeps little broing him like we're in the Club Paradise days. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's the right strategy. I say in the thing that he needs to, deliver bars and go at him. He had at the time before this record came out, he hadn't even made a record about Kendrick, direct to Kendrick yet. He's all about airing everyone out who's going against him. Obviously, there's a whole movement, and Metro orchestrated a lot of it, right? But, I just think he has a thing with Kendrick, and it goes back to even when we did The Crown back in the day, where it's like he views Kanye as the measuring bar. He doesn't get why Kendrick is so big and why people love him so much and the type of music he makes and the success he has. He doesn't connect to it.
Well, isn't it mutual? It doesn't feel like Kendrick, if I'm listening to Kendrick's
I think a lot of people don't like Drake, but they all respect him. You can't not respect the boy because of what he's done.
Do you think Kendrick respects him?
Huh?
Do you think Kendrick respects him? Because I'm listening to Kendrick.
I think he respects him. I think he does. I think, and I also don't buy the narrative when people always say, "Well, we just want the Drake that sings and not the Drake that raps." I think people love some of those AM/PM records too. You know what I mean? I hate when they say that whole he needs to just sing type shit. I think that's bullshit. Also, I think that we hear Drake barring people up. Drake is a great rapper. Kendrick is a great rapper. So yeah, if Drake does a great AM/PM song, whatever the fuck, I think Kendrick acknowledges that that's a great record and enjoys it. I think a lot of some of Kendrick's content, like a Mr. Morale, To Pimp a Butterfly, I don't think Drake necessarily connects to it. I mean, this is all my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, real quick for everybody who's watching, I see some comments saying, "Who is this?" We got Elliott Wilson on the check-in.
The laugh chat, nigga.
Literally, pretty much, if we're gonna really think about journalism and hip hop, he's probably the GOAT. The OGs of OGs, a guy who, again, his hip-hop knowledge and also credentials and what he's actually done. Probably also the guy, even contemporary-wise, that probably has the most Drake conversations.
The greatest Drake interview maker. That's me, baby.
Well, I think you've had the most Drake interviews, if we really on a cumulative level as well, and also
until I fucked that up, Ak. Until I fucked it up, Big Ak. I messed it up.
Well, listen, no one's got one since then, so we don't know. You can't fuck. You can't fuck up something that's not existent. But okay, all right. Two things that I do want to kind of throw back to you. So a lot of people accuse me. They're like, "Yo, Ak, you're like Team Drake, and you're like biased." And I've told people that's my favorite rapper, right? You know what I mean? I can imagine it was probably difficult for you to cover certain shit coming up when Jay-Z is Jay-Z's been the favorite for a lot of people, right? And
yeah, exactly.
What I've said in response is that, I think a lot of media, and you're an OG of the OGs. And by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm not on Everyday Struggle without my man Elliott Wilson. Elliott Wilson has shown me nothing but love. And
I crowned you number one in hip hop media today. I gave you the crown. You saw that, right?
Hey, listen, I've seen it.
One. Ak, you're number one. Say it with your chest. And I love Mouse, but you're number one right now. You got it. You're number one.
Hey, listen, I've realized that, and not as me being number one. I've realized that the platform and what it means in this issue, I feel is bigger than me, and I'm not. I won't take this moment to gloat or anything else. This moment is about the culture.
You're turning this shit into Act Center and shit, and fucking having us call in and you're a fucking brilliant dude. Very smart.
Yeah. No. It's more about the culture more than me. I get on my big ass shit when necessary, but I do
My
know.
dog Wildin', sorry.
Yeah, no. I do know that this moment doesn't happen if everybody collectively in the culture doesn't do their part to kind of almost bring music to the forefront. And I could never take. I don't care what it. I just can't. I just can't take credit like that.
What makes me upset tonight is I love every record that's come out in this battle, and I count even the Buried Alive, Drake doing Buried Alive. Like I think that's slept on. I think all 10 records. I think it was 9 or 10 before tonight's record. I love all those records. I think everyone has done their part of what I think this is hip hop's greatest battle. Time will tell. I think it's hip hop's greatest battle. Is Jay and Nas in the modern era where you have to worry about, having salacious content and how people are going to do memes about it. And I see all these, OVO Ho, Michael Jackson. Like, I hate that part of it. I don't care about hitting children. I don't care about none of that shit. Is nasty to me. What I like is, the strategies, the outmaneuvering, the cleverness. And, Drake has allowed Kendrick to outclass him in that sense of the timestamp record, of the back-to-back drop, of stepping on the family moment after he called it a kill shot with the Denzel. He's outmaneuvered him so far. Now, it's not over, but the problem also, the energy of how the outro of that record is, it makes it seem like he doesn't want to engage anymore. And people are running with that and saying he waved the white flag. He clearly did not do that, but it plays into the narrative that he doesn't view Kendrick as a worthy opponent. He even says it in it. And I think he has to stop taking that approach.
Hey, by the way, I'll and definitely I'm gonna hit DJ Head, and me and him we could argue it out.
I'll
But
connect y'all. He's a well-respected DJ in the West Coast, and obviously he has the affiliations, and he has his biases. But and that's what we tap into this in the bigger picture thing that I have coming up on YouTube soon on Up Rocks Hip Hop DX is what does that mean? Why does it seem that the West Coast is so united, right? What is that pride that they have? What is the unification that's there? Why is that? What makes that unique and what makes that special? And does Kendrick really not like Drake? And so we tap into all those issues and have a really deep conversation about that. That's really good.
Hey, I resent the idea that he's waving a white flag. He's ready to tap out. The reason why
tap out, he did not give up. No, he did not.
The reason why, if I was going to think that on Family Matters, he literally says, "I'm about to go on vacation," meaning almost, "Hey, I'm done with this." And if you're going to have that thought, you would have had that thought then. The mere fact that he returns with the hard part 6, that and you've heard it, like it's clearly either written or at least edited in the last day to reference the drop from last night.
Yeah.
So
I think Joe Budden jumped on, revealed it in a sense. Like, I'm sure they had certain, ideas of what they wanted to do, and then you can go in and tweak a couple of bars, right, to make it more relevant. Like the skeleton of the track was already cooked up. There's no way, Meet the Grams was cooked up like immediately after that record came out. He had that. He had the information. And, then you tweak certain lines to show that you're really literally responding to the record before, which is brilliant. There's nothing wrong with that. That's emceeing. That's craftsmanship. Like, each guy challenged each other and took time off. And, you gave them a clock. You gave everybody a clock, and then people would basically respond. So that, all of that is great. And again, I loved every move of this battle so far until tonight. I didn't like this move tonight. I didn't like him. The mustard shit is undeniable. And even he hints at that he would like that as a bop. Like you said it. You had the great thing of me. Like I don't like the lyrics, and I don't like those allegations and all that bullshit. But it's a bop, and it's a smart strategic move when you make such a dark record or a sinister kind of vibe to then go to that, and the record just feels so West Coast, And it's like it doesn't even have to be a national hit. If forever will be a regional hit, and it gives the West Coast the backing, to go behind Kendrick. What we love about Drake, I think, is that Drake runs around like the Jay-Z, where he wants to be the leader of our culture. And he carries that. And he said it in our interview about what makes him different than K-Dot and Cole. He wants to be the guy. He's proven to be the guy time and time again. He's battle-tested. He's our guy. No one can deny that he, to me, is number one. But Kendrick, we're not used to seeing Kendrick active. We're not used to seeing Kendrick drop records like this. We're not used to seeing, he even said it there, he inspired Kendrick, Jay made the same mistake with Nas. He kicked Nas when Nas was down. He kicked Nas when Nas was coming off Nostradamus, which was like the 4th album that no one really connected to. He had issues with his mom. And Jay, was finally feeling his oats that I'm the king of New York. Biggie's gone. It's me. I'm the guy. And he picked on Nas, and it backfired because Nas ended up, ether and resurrected his career and had a whole another run of his career. So you have to respect in a battle your opponent. You can't not think your opponent is worthy. Kendrick is a worthy opponent to Drake, and if he starts approaching it that way, I think our guy will come out on top. But right now, I do have Kendrick in a significant lead.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, I had him in the lead after last night. He might still be in the lead. I gotta really think.
It's a draw for you, Big Act.
It's right really close. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Also, like I like that he finally brought him up, but you don't feel that bite that we love the boy. There's not that like sharpness in the. Listen to those verses. He's not getting to it yet.
Okay. All right. So
you feel me?
Okay. So let me ask you this question then, right?
Get to it.
Let me ask you this question, right? I feel like this. I can tell you're a real Drake fan, right? Because I know what bark and that sharpness you're talking about, but
yeah.
If I'm to believe,
it's cleverly written what he just put out, but it doesn't have that Drake bite.
Yeah, like people are expecting "Do Not Disturb" Omerta. We're thinking about Lemon Pepper Free. Like we're really thinking that, and I don't know if Drake could write that in a day.
He could write it when, you said?
I don't think he could write it in a day. And I'm thinking there was a lot of bars penned late night last night and early today to get it recorded to drop today. And he's probably if we want one of those from him, we probably gonna have to. Kendrick sat 17 days before he dropped anything. I think Drake is trying to now capitalize on, all right, nigga, I'll take your strategy, because that's really my strategy. As soon as you drop, I'll drop. But you won't get that legendary, 6 p.m. in New York, 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in Toronto, unless he really maybe at least hibernates for a few days. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that Not Like Us record, you couldn't let it last. You couldn't let it last 2 weekends. No way. You can't. And by the way, here's my thing. This is my unsolicited advice. I think Drake should drop again because that record is starting to activate. You can't let it go unchallenged before another weekend because it will turn into something else.
I agree with you because we know Kendrick is teasing things out. I don't know what's going to happen, but you clearly see it feels like he's unifying everybody. Everybody from TDE, he's no longer even with TDE. But they're activated as if he just signed to the label, from Top on Top to Ab-Soul to Schoolboy to J-Rock. So what if he pulls the Black Hippie thing, right? He does some great record. And it's not even a Drake diss, but it's just a great hip-hop record. It's a posse cut, and Kendrick brought Black Hippie back together. That's a win.
Hey, you watch so many historic beefs and battles go down, Pac and Big, Jay and Nas, and just so many different issues that has been, at least dealt with to some level on Wax. I'm watching how this is unfolding today. This morning, I told people, I said I couldn't sleep. I basically, I'm waking up, not necessarily in cold sweats, but I'm checking my phone, and the niggas from the West Coast is burning up my line. And what they're also telling me is that
they're excited out here, Big Act.
Yeah, what they're also telling me is that this record is kind of almost reuniting the coast. And then I almost look at it where it's obviously, we clearly would never want some East-West shit again because of what's happened before. But it's there's a conglomerate and I feel like Kendrick is representing the coast while Drake is kind of just standing alone. We don't even see any artists next to him.
Yeah.
We see I see Roddy Ricch tweet out, yo, Compton's up, Crody. I see Mustard said, yo, I had to hold it down for the West. I feel like Drake is kind of in this, and of course he got his team of great producers, Boy Wonder, but it's kind of like a man without an island, a man without a country a little bit. It's
no, and also I think
he's going against the whole West. It feels.
Also, what I think you're hitting at is look, sometimes these things can get personal and get escalated, and real life tragedies can happen. So there is a concern there. I'm not of the mind when people say, well, this is just going to stay on wax. We're all grown men, but it's unfortunately that hasn't been our history in hip hop, right? So I have those concerns. I think me and Head spoke about that in our thing, the bigger picture. So I think I'm a good segue to call him next because, people do move a certain way, right? And certain lines get crossed, and if you keep this personal side of it, that's the thing I hate too. I hate that, like, it feels like the post Pusha T moment that you have to have this secret unveiling in your content, or else it's not an effective diss or a battle. Like, I don't like that part, and whether the guy has a daughter or not, or whose father is the daughter of this, like, I don't care about that part. Like, I care about the content itself outside of that. And yeah, I think there's real life concerns if it continues to escalate, continues to get crazy. It is inspiring to me. I think we're all inspired as hip hop fans to just see Kendrick so active, but again, there is a love for Kendrick in the West Coast. He's their king, he's their leader, he's their guy, and it's energized the city. So, it has to be watched.
All right, man. Listen,
I'm on the big act stream, baby, the king of media, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, listen. This stream belongs to the people, and this is why I'm serious. I've been telling people.
You're not mad at me about that Meek Mill shit anymore, but we're cool again, right? I got mad at me. I tried to check him on the Meek Mill shit. He broke up with me, but you're back.
No. I was never mad at you about it, but I had to, like, I'm always respectful to my OG, but I had to ignore you on that one. I'd be like, yo, man. Like, you ain't see this other thing.
I respect the big act. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, no, I've been trying to get different voices on here to balance out the conversation. Because number one, there's so many other people like yourself that are hip hop historians that have contributed, that have covered and really, done the narrative of hip hop as a culture for the last.
And I love like you giving Carl Cherry light too, because people know Carl. I mean, him, Spotify, big executive, pioneer in the streaming space, and he was also very intricate in those early deals that Apple did with artists like Chance the Rapper and things like that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't get credit for that stuff, but his background is just like me, Double XL magazine. Like, he's a journalist, he's a true journalist. So I like when you give him light because he's a behind the scenes dude, and it's great that you're using your platform to have that conversation. I think it's inspiring, and I'm trying to do a little something here, man. So I'm live. I want to get your feedback on it, because even though we taped it before this Drake drop, I think it's still relevant. A lot of things that I said were reflected in what happened tonight, that I wanted Drake to go at him on some AM PM shit like you and Joe talked about, and I wanted Drake to take him on in a way that he feels he's a worthy opponent and go at him. And I feel like he didn't do that part, and I think that's why that record fell short a little bit to me,
Okay. All right. Listen, people, go check my man Elliott Wilson out. He has he has an upcoming project.
On YouTube soon, after you get off Act Stream.
Yeah, the bigger picture, y'all go check it out. Obviously, we're all consumed by this back and forth, but there's so many different angles to look at this. And let me tell you this, history always repeats itself. And this is why, of course, I got to tap in with the OGs because they have seen how these things has played out. What I keep telling everyone, because I used the Rush Hour clip yesterday, and I said, yo, after Kendrick dropped like 3 in a row, I'm like, why did nobody tell me this man rolls like this? And
no, but he's never rolled like that. So to Drake's credit, he's lit that fire, like he said in the record. So, I think, again, that just shows that just, to me, like, to sum it up, to me, that shows that Kendrick does respect Drake. But I don't think Drake respects Kendrick enough, which is why he's not on the good side, on the winning side yet of this beef. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but he did not wave the white flag, y'all. Y'all got to stop.
Hell nah. Hey, I think he had to. I think Drake was conflicted, if you ask me. I think he had to do this because Kendrick with Euphoria dropped 30 different narratives. Hey, you don't write your records. You got lipo. You are not a good dad. Blah blah blah. But one of the areas that stuck was this whole thing about this. Hey, you're a creep who might be a pedophile. And I think Drake, to really get back to the core content of what he had to address it, right? And even with the sample he used, Aretha Franklin, Prove It. You know what I mean? Yeah. Basically saying, yo, number one, everyone's like overlooking what I did to you. With I wasted a whole song by you because you rapped a bunch of lies that I literally set up. And I'm wondering if Drake is also looking at this to say, if Kendrick had like set me up to rap a bunch of lies about him, people would have gave him so much credit. While with me, they're not giving me the same amount of credit. We'll
Well,
see.
I don't think it's over, man. So if everybody's acting like it's over, I don't necessarily think it's over. I think we'll get more records, and this is going to go down as the big one, man. I think this is setting the stage. I think it's going to be clearly, at the end of the day, hip hop's greatest battle.
Hey,
And I want what should before I go, because I got to do your thing. What do you think that this connects to the younger generation, or do they just feel like that's not important? This idea of like, I'm the best rapper, I'm number one artist, and like I always felt like even when we were hyping Lil Baby and he had his moment, it wasn't like Lil Baby was like, I want to be viewed as number one in the game. I felt like guys are about success, right? Future's successful. They've leveled up. The career goes up, but this idea that Drake, Kendrick, and Cole kind of, to me, have of this big three and who's number one and I'm number one, like, does that transcend to the next generation? Is this like our last great battle,
No, listen, I think personally, right? And this is why it's important for you to, be a part of hip hop and for you to cover the culture, study the culture. You need to know its past because everything is cyclical. I think in the last 3 to 4 years, we went through it's about street rap and a lot of like, we're just getting it, right? I think this is a pendulum switch where everybody, I'm telling you, from young to old, they are in tune into this conversation.
You got Big Elon, baby. X, you know what I'm saying? The tweets is watching.
Exactly. And I think what this is going to do is it's going to, at least for the next few years, give focus back on what rappers are saying and the art of what the rappers are doing in terms of lyricism. And if you've asked anybody, I think I've had this conversation. Shout out to my man Corday, who, he had called me like maybe a few weeks ago, and he was like, he was excited because he said he felt like people were starting to care about what people said again. And I think
bars and all that,
yes, I think this is going to help catapult that wave, right? That's gonna happen for another couple years, and yes, it's always gonna go back to, all right, now let's get to some young nigga shit of some swag raps and like colored hair or whatever the case is. Then it'll get to some street shit. Then it'll always come back to the lyrics because this is always the most exciting part of music. Point blank. Period. We're not here. We're not here talking about violence, court cases. We're not talking about these ancillary things that really we don't want to happen, but sometimes it's a part of the culture. We're talking about beats, lyrics, songs, competition, and this is the core essence, if you ask me, of what music and really being an MC is. Why people put pen to the pad or even get in the booth to even add vocals to an instrumental. So I think it's gonna switch.
I appreciate you, brother, man. I gotta pull up to the stream one time, man. We did your podcast, but one day I want to come to the crib and
come on.
The streamers, you know what I'm saying? These streamer kids, man. I gotta watch y'all, man. These streamers is out here killing it still.
Come on, man. Let's do it, man. Appreciate you, OG.
All right, big guy.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
All right. Okay. Kendrick ain't dropped while I'm on the call, right? Kendrick, you ain't dropped yet, right? Yo, Kendrick right now with his hand over the button like, say another motherfucking word. I'm going to drop my song right now.